This segment of our show brought to you by Blue Smoke Cigar and Smokin' Joe's. You've heard me talk about Smokin' Joe's for years. Their newest venture, they still have the Smokin' Joe's in Alcoa, but their newest venture is Blue Smoke Cigar out in West Knoxville. It's right there at the South Peters Road area across from Rafferty's. Terrific club. It's a membership kind of club. Now, you can also go in there and just buy cigars, sit there and smoke, but they have a room for their members. TVs, leather chairs, poker tables, card tables, golf, the big games, full-size things where you swing and it tells you where it goes on the course. I'm telling you, there's nothing like it in East Tennessee. You need to get out to Smokin' Joe's in Alcoa. You need to get to Blue Smoke Cigar in West Knoxville. All right, joined by these fellas, and these are the ones that can always say, I told you so. I just ride their coattails. VFL Daniel Hood, VFL Sterling Hinton, VFL Shazon Bradley, VFL Kyler Kerbison right down there. Gentlemen, I want to talk to you a little bit about circling the wagons, us against the world mentality. In the history of sports, there's never been a team that didn't try to say, it's us against the world. I mean, everybody looks for that. I mean, I remember as a Patriots fan, it was the 2004 season. Everybody picked the Patriots to beat the Eagles in the Super Bowl to win their second in a row. Everyone. And yet Rodney Harrison and Willie McGinnis, all they talked about was, nobody believed in us. Nobody thought we could win. But everybody believed in you. What are you talking about? You were a 10-point favorite. So everybody convinces themselves of this. But when you have a week like Tennessee just had, you had the bad loss where your coach said you looked lethargic. Okay, you came out, you looked flat. You looked like you didn't want to be there. You lose a game you shouldn't lose. Fans are mad. Then on top of that, you have rumors of one guy quitting the team, and the next day he stays, but another guy quits. One of your stars up in the middle of the season. Fans are saying, fans and some media are saying it's dumpster fire, time to clean house. Butch Jones has lost control of the locker room. In that situation, I could see that whole us against the world thing taking on meaning. You're not having to fish too deep in the sea to find reality that, it is us against the world. How does that play for you? How does that work for a team?
I think having all the issues there just makes you come in and stay focused, or refocus, I guess I should say. And when you have, someone that looks like, and I'm going completely off the way it just looked, Jalen's face in the Georgia game, the way it looked in the South Carolina game, just looked disinterested. And so when you can get that away, okay, now we're back to what it is. I mean, you hear the offensive lineman this week is all about, man, we can't wait to block for John Kelly. And so you see him refocus. And the whole us against the world mentality is just something to keep you motivated, to keep the focus. Because like you said, you got a lot of media guys right now fishing for things. You got a lot of stuff that's out there that you can talk about. You got a coach that, every little thing he says at a press conference right now is taken one way or the other. And so you got to find some way to hone in, to focus. And it goes back to the first time that I ever heard it said was by a guy named Monty Kiffin, who's
real popular right here.
He's all right at defense. But, as I'm a freshman out there on the scout field, oh man, that's Eric Berry, there's Gerald Willett, Nick Rivez, and all these other people, Dan Williams. Monty came up to me one day, grabbed me by the face mask and said, Dan, he said, see a little, see a lot. He said, you see a lot, you'll see nothing at all. And so he's talking about narrowing your focus, know what your keys are, and go execute on that.
I'm writing that down. I like that. See a little, see a lot. That's pretty good. In terms of the us against the world mentality, Sterling, Shazon, Kyler, you guys believe in it? You think there's power with it?
It's power with it, and it's because you have that jersey on. So whoever you do it's not on your jersey during that particular contest, yes, you have to have that attitude. But I always heard that adversity builds character. I always believed adversity shows true character. So I think you're going to see the true character of this team as we get through November. And I tell you right now, I like what I saw based on yesterday.
I'm truly a linebacker. And my philosophy is no one really knows how a linebacker feels. So he's out there, he's on the island, he's alone. He has to make it happen. So, yes, it has to be that way. It's motivation. It's every day. We got to do what we got to do. But, what I see in terms of Coach Jones, I love it. I mean, one thing about a head coach, my personal philosophy about a team, is the team has to adopt his personality. They have to. And these guys never quit. They just keep going.
Yes.
Kyler, your thoughts on the us against the world stuff?
Well, I think it's been happening since the Appy State game.
Yes.
The first game, I mean, it was us against the world. People were like, oh, gosh, we suck. We're not going to win a game. We barely beat Appy State. And
Yeah, but that was just Daniel talking.
and Coach Jones went ahead and put that into the meeting room and said, you know, it's us against everybody else. And what Sterling was saying, the best way to get a team to come together is through shared adversity. Everybody out there was struggling together, and that made them closer as a team.
Now, here's the thing. I could argue with you that I didn't see a big change in their mindset for 60 minutes until yesterday. Mm-hmm. It's been on their plate since Appy State. I think part of that might have been you didn't really feel true heat until this past week.
Yeah.
I think it's easier to sell when you've really gone through hell, and they went through hell this week.
I think I'm gonna add something to it too, and this is another Dooleyism, and it just goes back to addition through subtraction. You know, you can improve who you are by removing someone from the team, and honestly, and again, don't know Jalen or anything else, but I think the team is better off as it is now, removing that distraction from it, so now we can focus and play football.
What do you guys think on that? I don't know if you all want to go there or not, but the Jalen. Well, Shazan, you talked about it during the show. I'll get Sterling and Kyler to weigh in. Jalen Hurd, when you've got a guy, I think it's interesting when Brett Kendrick says this is a guy we like to block, or we like to block for this guy. To me, that's pointed. That's pointed. When you have John Kelly say, well, when I touch the ball, they know I'm carrying it for them. Okay. That, again, maybe I'm reading into things, but that's an interesting statement to make. Your guys' thought, is it possible that this team better now in the locker room, minus Preston Williams left? I didn't see anybody crying about Preston Williams leaving either. Doesn't mean they're not great guys, doesn't mean they're not great players. Might mean they weren't good fits here. But is there a chance this locker room is better minus Preston Williams, minus Jalen Hurd?
A locker room always gets better when you get rid of distractions. I mean, no matter what, no matter who it is. I love Preston Williams. I love Jalen Hurd. I thought they were great teammates to me when I was there. But if you're a distraction to the team and you're making the team worse off, you being there, then yeah, you're probably going to have to leave. And the coach will take care of that. He will get you off the team so that his team can do better.
Sterling?
Well, my thing is this, I got to know Jay, and I think he's a good guy. What happened, I wasn't there, I can't say. But what I will say is this, Russell Wilson left North Carolina State and went to Wisconsin. There are success stories that are out there that he can mimic, and I just wish him the best.
Okay.
I think we need to say that. Like, we're not wanting him to go
Right.
somewhere to do bad. I mean, we want him to do well because, again, and I think it goes back, he's still a Tennessee Letterman. He's still evolved for life. No one's going to take that away from him. But at the end of the day, we've got to protect Team 120, not
One guy.
not Jalen Hurd right now.
Yeah, understood. Let me ask you this. This one's starting to creep out there. Maybe this is because, again, when pressure busts pipes, all right? There are more leaks that come out when you're losing, more things to gripe about. There's been some talk that Butch Jones, over the course of these 4 years, I remember, straight this way, I guess it was year number 2 they beat South Carolina. You were on that team. Mm-hmm. And the big point is made that previous years, Derek Dooley has told the kicker, don't go out there and F this up. But Butch Jones that day before, who was that? Who was the kicker that year? It wasn't.
I've been Pilardi.
Yeah, Michael Pilardi. He told him that day, they were having their team breakfast somewhere, and he said, you're going to kick the game winner for us today. And everybody was talking about it's the difference between him and Dooley. One was just negative, one's positive. Well, now you hear stories that Butch Jones, as the pressure has been ramped up on him, he's gotten more conservative in his approach to the game. He's also become a little more difficult on the players. That rumor is out there. You're the one that's most close to these players. You played with them last year. Did you see a difference in Butch Jones over the years in the way he treats his players, the way he coaches?
No. During the week leading up to the game, he's going to be very hard on you during practice. That's when you get better, is during practice, all those reps that you take. So he's going to be really hard on you, make it to where it's a hard practice. That way it's easy in the game. Now when it comes to game day, he's going to love you up. He's going to say you're the best guy out there and make your confidence build. That's when he needs to do it, is on game day. But during practice, when you need to get better, when you need those reps to where your game can get even better, that's when he's going to break you down and see how you react. See how you can react to someone being on top of you, or the pressure being on you. and that's how he knows that you're going to be ready for game day.
Is it? And look, we all have different levels of thin skin. We've all got some guys have thicker skin than others. But have you ever seen him do something where someone could take offense to it?
Come on, man.
No, I would think you'd have that with Majors, with Fulmer, with anybody.
Oh,
but
I'm
that's
sure.
out
I
there
mean-
right now. I'm telling you, you would not believe. I'm not going to say it, even though it's online. Some of the stories that, well, he said this to this guy, and he said this to that guy. Well, I think part of that's par for the course.
Pressure
But I'm
makes it.
asking you because that's going to get out there. These rumors are out there. So I'm allowing you to either say, well, it's part of the football, or that's BS, or, yeah, okay, it's true.
Pressure make a pipe burst.
Yeah.
And as you get to know a player a little bit better, you squeeze him harder because you know who he is. You just want to see him rise above the occasion. So the better I get to know my player, the better he understands me and the love and the communication in terms of what we are. He's my son, and I'm looking out for him because I'm his coach. He's to follow me.
Yeah.
The higher the atmosphere gets, the more pressure I put on that young man because I want to see him, no matter what happens, I want to see him rise to the top. And that's what he does. And people think that he's being ugly. He's not being ugly. He's challenging because let me tell you something. You got 120,000 people yelling and screaming. You got a guy from Alabama trying to knock your head off. You got a guy trying to call cover two. You got a guy trying to call an X-Tex game. And you got a coach from the sideline yelling at you. That's a lot of pressure.
And I'll say this, he's going to say some things that you don't like, and that's going to hurt your feelings. I can tell you right now, I remember exactly the only time he ever called me out over the loudspeaker. Dan, you got no passion when you're playing. And he called it out and that day, to his credit, I was. It was a practice day. I hadn't picked it up. As a senior, it shouldn't have happened. But at the same time, when we ate dinner, once we walked off the field, he came down and sat down where I say, hey, you really picked it up in that practice. Good job. Way to fight through the adversity.
It's funny you would mention the bullhorn because that is supposedly what people are getting a little tired of. But I think when you're winning, players, fans, everybody is happier. When you're losing and people are firing at you from all corners, I think it's more likely that you get your head down and it's like, well, he was yelling at me on that stupid thing today. I think there's some of that going on. That's why I was very interested to see how this team responded on Saturday. I know it's Tennessee Tech. Trust me, I get it. Not going to say that means you're going to go 3-0. But it does say something. They may prove me wrong next week, but I think it says something that they went through that hell week, lost a real star, and for the first time all year, they came out focused and kept the focus for the full 60 minutes. I haven't seen that this year. We said, when are you going to play a 60-minute game? The opponent helped, but you didn't shoot yourself in the foot. That's it. This team had shot itself in the foot all year, and whether it's Tennessee Tech out there or not, you didn't do that.
Yes.
I mean, there were times when Josh Dobbs didn't hit a guy and he could have been thrown against a cone. There were times when, no offense, but there are times in that offensive line I'm not sure they could have blocked a cone. There have been times this year where that team has had its struggles. We know that. They didn't show those kinds of struggles yesterday from the get-go. So I think that's a positive. I think it's very much
Big
a positive. Let me ask you the final thing, back to the Butch Jones cursing thing, for God's sakes. And I tried to get this out of Sterling on the television show. You want to tell me, you guys, I've talked to enough of you guys. I've had so many players on my show. I know how you guys think when you hear somebody that's critical of you and you're on a team. I know how Kyler feels when we're critical of the team he's not on anymore. It gets easier. The more media you do, the further away it'll get easier. But if you were getting attacked like they were all week, if you're getting picked on and you feel like you're getting ramped up, you get mad. How unusual would it be for somebody to say, "Oh, F them all"? Which I think he said, and if it were me, he should have come out and said, I don't know what I said. I probably said that because when you boo my team and we're up 35-0, you're down right. I'm not happy with those people booing. That would have been an answer that everyone would have loved. Rather than deny, I would have just gone there. But anyway, I don't think that's that unusual. I think it's getting made into a big deal when in reality, he doesn't like the fans. I think if people could hear the locker room after you guys are getting beaten or listening to TV shows or radio shows, I'm going to guess that's not the first time somebody said F them all. Am I correct?
Yeah, well, if you're out there giving all that you have and you're putting in all this work to try and win a game and you put in so much preparation throughout the week and you're trying your best out there and someone boos you, doesn't matter what you're doing. Doesn't matter if you're playing a sport, if you're doing this radio show, if you're working your desk job. If somebody boos you, you're going to want to say that to them.
Yes.
Don't throw
I mean-
rocks when you're mowing the lawn.
Yeah, when you're mowing the lawn and you're picking up leaves and somebody says, boo, you're not doing a good job, you're going to want to say that to them.
That's
So pressure on the pipe, whatever you want to say, everybody would say that if they were put in that situation.
See, exactly. That's what I think is funny about fans and some of the media. We project stuff onto these other guys that we ourselves could not do. Could not do it. I have no problem. Somebody sends me something ugly on Twitter, 9 times out of 10, I'm going to send something ugly back. That's not smart, but I'll be very respectful of you as long as you're respectful of me. If it goes the other way, I'm not above cussing you back. That's just me. So I don't have a problem with him doing this. And he wasn't cussing at the fans if he was even talking about the fans. We don't know what was on the other side of the headset, and I'm not a professional lip reader. But,
Exactly.
But regardless, I think that most of us in life, if somebody's sitting there, if you had 100,000 people barking at you, and you're an accountant, and you don't have your T38 form done yet, and you got 100,000 people saying, "Why ain't it done? Why ain't it done? You dumbass, you haven't got it done." You're probably at some point going to go, "F you all." So we need to remember that, I think.
I think at the same time, even in a closer knit circle than that, I guarantee someone's made that statement to their mom, their dad, their brother, their sister, or maybe all at one time. And then
Or
come
something
back,
like it,
Yeah. Or come back and came back a little later like, "Hey man, I was really messed up. Like, I'm sorry. I didn't mean it."
We all say things out of frustration. That's
Yeah.
overhearing someone say something in frustration is a big difference for me than that and somebody cussing out the fans.
Then a calculated statement. Exactly.
And I think he goes far and beyond to try to make his players happy first, probably make the fans happy. I think he does a really good job at that. We probably need to give him a little bit of a break. You're up 30-something-0 and they're booing you. I mean, what
that
am
was
I
stupid.
going to do, you know?
That was stupid. I mean, seriously.
I
If you
think-
booed yesterday up 35-0, that's stupid.
I think I got a fix for Coach Jones there. Get everybody back on the bus. Just Monday press conference. Just start out with a joke. He starts out with a joke. Release all the tension. Dooley's little. I'm General. Where's Rommel? Where's Rommel?
Start with a joke, but just to have the irony, throw an F-bomb in it as well, just to really stick in the knife a little bit. All right, thanks to all these guys, Kyler Kerberson, Shazan Bradley, Sterling Hinton, Daniel Hood. Appreciate you watching. Appreciate Smoking Joe's Blue Smoke Cigar. Check them out. We will see you Thursday night on Fox 43 at 7 o'clock for our Tennessee-Kentucky preview. We'll talk to you Friday at 4 o'clock with Jimmy Himes and John Wilkerson on WNML 990 and 99.1. And then we will see you right back on Channel 6, I should say, Sunday at 11 a.m. next week to break down the Tennessee-Kentucky game. Thank you very much for watching us. We always appreciate it. See you soon.